Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Greeting, fellow Toastmasters. My presentation is called Growing Into Me. Every day is an opportunity for any of us to improve our lives, and this is known as growth. Has anyone here done something outside of their comfort zone, besides speaking in front of a group? Something that challenged you and helped you grow. It can be akin to climbing or hiking trails on the side of a mountain. The terrain determines the struggles one faces. In this event, the objective is to get to the top of a mountain. If a person decides to take an easier trail or the one that lacks challenges, that person will reach their goal but may face less than ideal expectations. Even though they have reached the top of said mountain, they may not be as inclined to appreciate their journey. Back in 2007, my friend, my son, and I, we decided to do a retreat in the mountains of Franconia Ridge on Mount Washington. We did it in the late winter, early springtime. Why that time frame, do you ask? I'm still asking myself that question too. On top of that, we also decided to take the more challenging pathway. Those of us who are given or take the more challenging trail, like career change or buying that house, know we may be required to take out our climbing shoes and rappel gear to climb the side of the mountain to get to the rest of the way to the top. However, our journey, in this case struggle, was meant for greater opportunities. The impact of our accomplishments is truly appreciated. During this obstacle course, we face hardships, pain, and almost death. My partner and I rolled our ankles, got ourselves slapped a few times in the face with protruding branches, and I almost fell over a ledge. Divine intervention, if you will, allowed me to grab a branch protruding from a boulder, and it saved my life. Yet, when we reached the summit, the three of us were rewarded with the most stunning view of Franconia Valley. Our growth can result in the struggles we face. We might fight it or take an easier way and resist the growth in the obstacles of life. For example, some of us or people we know may coast through life without struggles. These individuals might have had things handed to them, or they decided to make decisions in their lives that will be the path of least resistance. They might have what we call the feeling of entitlement and not truly work or struggle for what they receive. On the other hand, for those of us who don't know what we want to be when we grow up or decide to change our journey, might find it more challenging navigating our way through life. However, if we negotiate this obstacle course we're on, our growth can impact not just our lives, but the lives of others around us, i.e., your family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, who knows, maybe even your supervisors or other people you're not realizing you're impacting. Recently, my twin brother found out the impact he's been having with his co-workers for the region he works because of his work ethic. He's dependable, honest, and predictable enough to have the confidence of others' trust. A journalist named Andy Rooney once quoted, "Everyone wants to live on top of the mountain, but all the happiness and growth occurs while you're climbing it." I mentioned earlier that my son, my friend, and I decided to take the opportunity for the more challenging trail to get to the summit of our hike. During the time of me almost falling to my death, I can hear my friend yelling out, "Run with it! Grab a tree!" And looking back, I can see the humor and growth that was occurring in all of us. It taught us to be aware of the environment, know our surroundings, the dangers that it present, and make sure you don't lose your joy and humor when you're being challenged in the most strenuous times of your life. You know who faced challenges and impacted lives? Our founding fathers. These inspirational pioneers went through growth in the most challenging mountain trail, our independence. Think about the impact they've had for over 200 years. Reflect on the sacrifices our founding fathers went through. The fear that they may have faced lived in them as they ventured to stand against an oppressive country. Their actions shaped our country and went against a nation who wanted us to be subjugated to their whims and ideals, which were oppressive. They stepped out into the unknown. Does it feel like when you're struggling, you're stepping out into the unknown? Or have you been put in a situation that made you pause and think, did I make the right decision? The brave decision or decisions we make could be similar to our founding fathers. Maybe not in the extreme of going against the nation, but nonetheless, it or they can represent how they shape us in life. Without our founding fathers' vision of a free and independent nation, us feeling fulfilled would probably not have been realized without the sacrifices they made. And without their bravery, imagine where we'd be today. Thankfully, we don't have to imagine what it'd be like. Because of them, our dreams and our ambitions can be attained and help set a standard for many other countries that aspire to be like our country. The impact has been felt because our founding fathers decided to take the challenging pathway. In summary, my wife likes to say that the tree never turns away from the sun, soil, and rain. Therefore, we should never turn away the opportunities to grow when others are critiquing you or asking why you do what you do. I request that you pause and reflect when you're dealing with the obstacles that are beyond your control or seem overwhelming. Growth is occurring in your life. Use that opportunity or challenge as a way of impacting lives around you. You never know what legacy you're leaving behind. Thank you for listening, fellow Toastmasters. Madam Toastmaster, I hand it back to you.